This is probably the part where people turn around, but which is kind of sketchy.
Let me take you to a place where the gods have mountains carved out of stone. The Alta meant peak in Sequoia National Park. You're about to witness the best views in Sequoia.
We start the hike to Alta Peak from the Wilburton parking lot. We are right here. And the peak is going to be right up here. And it says weapons are prohibited in this national park. And there is a very good possibility you could see a bear on this hike. Because I did this hike 2 years ago and I seen a black bear on this same trail. And there you're going to see this turnoff. The left side takes you to the lodgepole campground. The right side takes you up to the peak. You're going to see this sign right here. But don't go this way. Go this way, right here. So right now, we're mostly in forestry, but the further we get up the hike, views will begin to open up. Right now, the hike is really gradual, but I heard the last 1 to 2 miles are brutal. From a distance, you can see that nice rock granite formation. So right now, you're starting to see that the views are starting to open up, but we're still in the wooded section of the hike. Right now it's kind of flat, but elevation will start to pick up soon. Between filming and hiking this, I believe I will finish and get to my car by approximately 5 p.m. And on the way up, there is a creek that you could stop at. You do have to get off the trail a little bit, but it's close enough to where you could easily backtrack onto the trail. But the creek should meet up later on to the trail. So, when we get to the top of the peak, we're going to be able to see Heather Lake, Astor Lake, and Pear Lake. So we're definitely going to get a great perspective, and we are going to get some amazing views of Sequoia National Park. So this peak offers that. And this is probably going to be my first official peak of the Sierras. So you can see the trail right here, but we're going to get up there a bit more, and there's going to be a left turnoff that takes you to the lakes, but we're not going to go left. We're going to go that way, straight ahead. So all throughout the hike, you're going to notice these yellow triangles on the tree. I believe those are trail markers. So this portion of the hike is getting pretty steep. So I found the very first stream crossing right here. This hike is a bit reminiscent of my hike to San Gorgonio. Both are over 11,000 feet. Both have creeks. Both have forestry. The only difference is this is actually an easier hike on paper, as it's over 3,000 feet of elevation gain and not 5,000 feet of elevation gain. And we have reached another key point in the hike. As you can see, that side takes you to the lakes. Straight ahead takes you to the peak. And this trail is just very scenic. So there looks to be some fire damage here, but it looks like the tree that had fell over the path was carved around the tree, merging back onto the other side. You do get this charming look of ferns blossoming throughout this forest. So we have this nice stream just flowing down through this mountain. So this is the perfect source of water if you're looking to refill. Man, you got another stream coming down through these ferns and flowers. So the tree line is starting to thin out a bit here as we get further along the hike. Once we pass this up, we're going to see, you are going to see this. So this stunning view, I believe, is what they call Panther Gap. So you can see the clouds, you can see these beautiful granite peaks along this range. I'm going to give you these just panoramic views. And as beautiful as that was, I'm going to go ahead and get back on the trail and head to the peak. So this portion of the hike is a lot more exposed, and you're exposed to beautiful views like this. And you're going to want to watch out for parts like this. So at this point in the hike, I'm pretty much covered in brush and vegetation, and I'm starting the switchbacks again. I am more than halfway through the hike, and from a very far distance you could actually see Morro Rock from here. So up on those mountains over there, you could actually see some glaciers if you look a bit close enough. And we have reached another key point in the hike. So that right there is the High Sierra Trail. But we're gonna go up here. 2.9 miles to the summit. So there seems to be another source of water down here in this meadow right here. But the trail doesn't go down here. It continues up here. So we got 2 more creek crossings before we reach the summit. So I want to say we probably have about, at this point of the hike, about 2 miles left till we reach the peak. We have reached another key point in this hike. You're going to reach this sign right here. And when you get to this point, you're gonna get this beautiful granite formation. I'm not sure if one of those is the peak, but we're gonna find out soon enough. So it looks like the trail just kind of switches up around through here. I'm assuming it's gonna lead up to that ridge up there, but I'm not 100% sure. This perspective, I'm gonna show you something really fast. This is the views you're gonna get from here. This is what it looks like. No, this is the last source of water before the summit. I want to say I have about just over a mile left, but you could just see how steep it is to the summit. When you get to this section of the hike, you're gonna get this backdrop of the Eastern Sierras from right here. And down there is actually a meadow down there. So this is another section of the hike where views just start to open up again. And then we get back on the path. This portion of the hike, we do have these nice wildflowers growing through this mountain. So I'm gonna go ahead and just take a break here. Admire these views, but I brought myself some snacks. Got myself this nice sandwich right here. And you could just see all the snow-capped peaks up from here. And a lot of the Eastern Sierras actually have peaks that don't even have a trail. You actually have to rock climb to get to the peak. And down there is pretty much all the switchbacks we came up through to reach this portion of the hike. So I do got to do a little bit of rock scrambling up to the peak, it looks like. But it looks like it's sort of like a trail, but not really. You're gonna see this boulder field on the way up. Still got a ways to go. This is probably the part where people turn around, but I'm almost there. So from down there you can see the trail, but where you see that rock's at, some parts of it, the trail kind of disappears. But when you're coming up this way, make sure to steer to your left. It'll take you back onto the trail, which is going to be my right hand side right here. And I think that's the summit up there. And you just get sweeping views from here. You can see those rocks on top, but I actually had to climb up here, which is kind of sketchy, but I managed to make it up here to the summit. Right now I'm gonna fly up and give you some better views of the area. Even more views from the top. There you can see the lake. So views up here are just amazing. You can see all the lakes from here. Pear Lake, Astor Lake, Heather Lake down there somewhere. But it's just beautiful up here. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this hike. Don't forget to like and subscribe.